To access information regarding any specific class section offered in your school, use the Classes informational pane. By default, it will show you current classes, but you can click and select Future, Past, or All classes. You can, as well, adjust the layout. By default, it's grouped by department, which we could use to filter if we wanted to. We also have the filter row here that we could use. See, it's adjusted the filter. Now let's turn this one off. There we have it. If at any time we want, we can restore the default layout just by clicking, and we're back to the way it was. We can click on any of these and the details will open, or we can right-click and we can decide which of these various elements we want to look at. Let's go to the class details. Remember, classes are generated from the course definitions, so the information here will be very similar. Here we have our class. I'm going to minimize this so we have a little bit more screen space. This is read-only information. Notice that it's for the school year 11-12. It's based on the homeroom course. This is the particular class name, HR 4BM. We have general quarter information here. Notice that this is generic. Even if your school doesn't use quarters, this will describe all situations. So for instance, a trimester school would just use the first 3. If you're a semester school, then quarter 1 and quarter 2 should be clicked for the first semester, and quarter 3 and quarter 4 would be clicked for the second semester. Down below we have teachers for this particular class and a schedule if any has been defined. Notice that this particular meeting has attendance associated with it, while these do not. We have a class description, which you may or may not have edit privilege for. Down below we have these additional tabs. Remember, these corresponded to the contextual menu here. Let's go to the class roster. It will open. Here we have all the students in the class. Notice their status. This one was withdrawn, as was this. Here the drop date was January, so they receive a semester 1 report, but not a semester 2 report. And here's attendance summary. If we want to find out details, we can just click this and open. We see the attendance details. Remember that this information is live, and we could right-click on any student and go to the particular element of that student we want to look at. We can also, with all these grids, right-click, column chooser, and bring out other information if we want. And we can then print that information, either sending it to the printer or saving it to a file. We also have class grades. Now the class grades are a read-only view of all the grades for all the students in the class. We can expand this to see details. If you actually want to edit a grade, however, you have to come over here to the class grades informational pane. Class criteria. Again, this will vary significantly from class to class and from school to school. We have the criteria, bands to use. The column chooser gives us lots of other options that have probably been set. Things such as whether or not you have efforts or comments or marks for these. Because this is a PYP homeroom class, we have a Unit of Inquiry tab. And again, you may or may not have edit privilege here. If your school has defined any user-defined fields, they'll show up here. And if your school is using the curriculum options, you can define the curriculum here, including units, topics, and any other curriculum-related columns that have been defined. Again, this will vary significantly from school to school. Lastly, we have the class documents. Any documents that have been added will show up here. You can click and edit document name and description if you have the privilege, or you can right-click on this and it will open up the document itself. Now, since classes come from courses, there will be times when you want to go back to the course from which the class came from. From any of these tabs, you can go to its corresponding course element just by going to the Action menu and choosing Open Course. So here, Homeroom 4BM opens up the Homeroom Grade 4 course. Now, if you're on a tab that doesn't have a corresponding element, like the class roster, then you can't go to a course element. But if you're on one like this, you can. Again, it's designed to help you flow from one area to another area based upon your particular needs.